Yeah.
Hello?
Who was that? Hey guys, thanks for joining us again on a Sunday. I think those in Australia, I think the time's gone forward by an hour. It's like starting at 12 a.m. now. Uh, so anybody who's joining from Australia, I think thanks for joining us at 12 a.m. Anyway, so quite a lot of things to discuss today. So I was kind of like leaking a lot of stuff in the Genesis chat today. I think after a long time, had a really good chat for like about an hour with the holders. So we kind of went through a lot of the plans and some secret stuff that we've been working on. But let's talk about stuff that we have, we have kind of like delivered, done, coming up. Very not like just soon kind of thing, because the products are ready. It's just pretty much just in days, like less than like few days kind of thing, right? So first up, a little bit of an update and also like a shout out to the Gajira DJ9 team, which has been mentored by Zero Cool. It's crazy the way the team is performing, led by a Genesis holder, Fire Nova, a female gamer, and she's been like killing it in the game. It's kind of like important for two things for us to win. I mean, like we're kind of I think pre-quarterfinals now, and there's quarterfinals in like 6 hours. We'll be streaming here in our Discord. Zero Cool would be streaming the game live. Whoever can join and kind of like support our five-member DJ9 team, that would be amazing. So that's it's important for two things. Number one is obviously we get 100 free mints for DJ9. Everything is going to come to you guys, right? Like it's going to come to voxel holders, Gen 2s and Genesis. So free DJ9 mints. That's 100 free DJ9 mints. It's going to be like probably might have a very yeah. If we get first place, second gets like 60. I think we can at least. I'm pretty sure we could minimum like get. I'm pretty sure we can win, but just minimum. I think we could reach the finals and. Either way, so that's a really good opportunity for us to get like few free DJ9 mints for our community, right? So we are going up against Operation Sin. The PG team has got one of the highest scores in the game so far, so it's really exciting in that sense. And the second reason is obviously the marketing, that we may get like it's almost like a free marketing in a different way. We it seems like people are not noticing, but 100% people are noticing. Like it seems like these kind of things are not noticed, but I'm pretty sure. I get DMs, I get like this talks and other discords and stuff about the PG team, and there's kind of like definitely there's attention, um, to the event and stuff that's going on. So this is the link for it, and it's getting like pretty decent, this thing, right? Interactions. Number two, I think this has been a topic of discussion for quite a few of them, was the WAGME media, the poll against Memeland. It was such a crazy poll in the sense, I didn't see it till like 3 hours before the end of the poll for our, I think, whatever pre-quarters or what, I mean at quarterfinals I would say, and we were leading at like 69% and meme ran at 31. There was like 3,000 votes or something, and I was like, yeah, I mean we are winning and it makes sense. I come back after an hour and I see that meme land's votes had been botted, and then I come back after another, like I was like, I just made a tweet or something. I didn't retweet it till then, and I retweeted, and I come back, and somebody had botted our Twitter poll as well, and then back to Memeland, then back to us. It was like a massive botting happening kind of thing. Like both the sides were botting. All right, like I don't know who was doing it, or like which holders. I don't even know how they did it. Like, but some tech geniuses or whatever, they kind of bought it, and it went to like 26,000 votes in the end. And 100%, like it's like we all can agree that it was like a lot of votes were botted. But either ways, we won, right? Doesn't matter. We won. Even in the bot, if it's botted, both the teams botted, and in the botting, I think we still won, right? So, you know, Chubby Jiras helped as well, of course. So either ways, doesn't matter, right? So we won the poll, and as I said, this is the point. What I said, right? We think that these kind of polls are like stupid and useless, but this particular poll, I think, has got a really an attention now because OpenSea had commented that anybody who wins, they'll get featured on their front page for like a week or something, like, so so that's a really good, side of, like an organic uh, marketing, or like, like viewer, like just to at least like display the project to people who have not heard or seen about us, if we can win. And as I mentioned, like, we think that people are not watching, but 9gag CEO commented about the, those kind of polls as well. So people are taking it kind of seriously than what I thought it is, right? So they lost, and obviously they're out. But we are competing against Happy Seals next. It's pretty much one of the, I think, like there's like a big simp meta and a meme culture going on with Sappy Seals, one of the strongest community side of things. But I think, Gajiras again are gonna come on the top. So yeah, I think that's the semis. Like, so it was a pretty good one. So these are the two, I think, from the Twitter side, and another one that we did. The marketing team, I think they started their work. So they pretty much like have set up a plan for about like almost like 14 weeks now, 14 weeks of marketing from now till the end of December. Schedules for launching different products at what time, and before just randomly just coming out of the project, like, kind of like stage by stage level of marketing. As you may have seen, they started off with like a simple video that they made. I'm not sure, like, I mean, I'm not going to comment on it, on everybody, but this was after a long time. After a long time, I would say, a video that we posted from our like, like a Twitter account, that kind of gained a lot of like, attention, like, natural attention, no retweet for whitelist, just pure organic, like, a simple trailer slash video that was posted by the marketing team. I think a lot of them commented as well that they felt nice just seeing something like that. If for those who missed it, this is the, yep. So for those who missed it, this was the Twitter post for, the video that started, that just kick started. Pretty decent interactions, just getting back a little bit of, attention back to our project, a little more views, and a little more like natural this thing on our project. So I think a really a good job, Amresh and Kemuri and the marketing team, and our, like, the person who did the video. And like, I think we are going the right track. In terms of the marketing, simple ones. Not we're not burning thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. Just some really nice guys who are working for like a pretty modest pay, and trying to get us, like, again on the map, that, we could do a lot of things. We definitely can. So kickstarted, this is like almost like a campaign, like let's almost like, a new PG outlook after the, our rebranding. And from the rebranding side, I think a lot of you can agree that its tweets have been a lot more neater, a lot more organized, and like, we have been not been using the word partnership for every random shit, but we have been really specific with which projects we are partnering with. You're using the word partnership. So yeah, I think that's one of the kicks. So this particular video is just kickstarting quite a few things that's going to come up in the next few weeks, just to keep you guys excited and, like, add more value to the holders. And in this market, especially when things are dull, we want to show, when bull run's going to be back. It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. So when that happens, we know where the attention is going to be. Like, we still are dragging, and we're getting attention of people to our project, to our Twitter, to our to our AMAs or spaces or any of those things. So this was one really good move from the marketing team, and would also like to mention that I was we had a nice Twitter Spaces with Cyberkongs, Gojira and Lama on, I think, when was this? I think Thursday. I would say Thursday. Yep. So it was a joint Twitter Spaces with hosted by Cyberkongs for one of our launchpad projects called GMC. It's a very bad market, but I think those who have played the game, like Gangster My City, the game is live, and we are kind of participating in a battle even right now. You might have seen in the team announcements. So GMC is pretty much like kind of has integrated Gojira and Llama and also Cybercons in the game. Really, really good team. They've a lot of talent in the team. The trailer that's pinned there, they pretty much, you can see the quality of their studio and stuff. So went on a spaces with them three, and it was nice because this was and Jamie told me that Cyberkongs was pretty much what inspired him for starting Gojira. And so it was nice to go on for the first time on like spaces with um, with Cyberkongs and Lama, and we were just talking in general about GMC and about play to earns and stuff because GMC is kind of like the first one of at least one of the very few projects that have built a full game. Like they've gamified it before the launch of the project, like before even the mint came out because they've been building on it for a while, and it gives a chance for people to test it, play the game if it's fun and stuff. They can like support the team. So yeah, I think GMC's mint is coming up. I'm not exactly sure how that's going to turn out. In the sense like how the market is and all those kind of things. But I'm really proud of Ruben and RNA and our launchpad team as well, and headed by Ruben, giving them the right advices. We secured them a lot of connections. With Cyberkongs that deal with llamas and other projects and other communities. As I said, it's not. It seems like somebody can ask like, oh Shan, you guys are just launching projects and what this. Just remember that we are not getting paid for that. Everything comes back to our treasury, right? Our vault, right? So it's not an easy thing at this stage to get all these connections and to it's 10 times as harder to launch a project now than a while back. A project like GMC would have been like an instant sellout like 4 months back because it combines all the exciting elements and also those bits. Either ways, if it does well, it's good for us because it's going to come back to our treasury. I'm not sure of the percentage, but it's more than 10% of the sales is to PG's treasury. So for our help and our time and our efforts in the last 6 months, and again, not a dollar for the founders or the team or anything. You could see we'll put the transaction where that goes. So yeah, GMC is pretty much one thing I'm pretty excited for, just to see how things are going to go. Next up is, so I went on spaces. That's good. Like I just got some new people to hear about Gajira as well, and mentioned about the launchpad and the services. And second thing was, I don't know if I mentioned it last time or was it this week. I kind of forgot. There was I started going on quite a few podcasts and signed up for a lot of podcasts and spaces at different times of the day because I used to kind of do a lot of my spaces only during the Australian times before when I was working. So from September, I started doing it like different times at like 4 a.m., 3 a.m., 6 a.m., and stuff like that. So one other one that I went on was on WGMI, which is founded by Kosher Mace, who's involved. Kosher, K Money, and I think Brett. I think yeah, Brett. So I got on a like a one on like almost like a one-on-one Twitter Spaces with them in the past week. So that was pretty good. Just spoke a little bit about the Web3 space and Gojira about to kind of quite some new audience. And also another podcast that's kind of recorded and it'll probably be out by next week. And I'm really excited to be on another podcast next week where people like G Money, all big names, Ryan Carson. about like seven, 6 to 7. They only like interviewed like 6 to 7 people so far, and all are big names in the space. Like it's called InPeak NFT Insider, and they have been picking up like quite some big names like Ryan Carson and other founders of Moonbirds. And the third episode was with with G Money and like kind of like all kind of like big names in the space. Even not just from Web3, even from Web2, like some these guys, A16Z, the VC, the venture capitalist firm, and yeah, quite a lot of big names, and they've invited me for next week. So really proud to be there representing Gojira on their event. So that last, I think, quite a lot of there's pretty decent attention and view to those to those videos. So I'm kind of like excited to you know join their session. Let me just check the names that are there, that were there before. Let me just check one second. Not able to find it. Yep. So founder of Sandbox, G Money, not K Money, G Money. The like kind of like is kind of like bigish. And then Zeneca, and no other. I don't think there's any other NFT founder that's been invited as such, except I think Ryan Carson. But like he's kind of out of Moonbirds. They've only been inviting like real tech startups and I mean tech companies that have kind of like done well in the space, in Web 2 and also Web 3 kind of thing. So it's really good. I think it's a good exposure for us, and I think people are seeing us definitely differently, not just as an NFT project. So I'm really that's the narrative that we want to definitely bring up, not just like a PFP collection or an alpha group. People are actually confused. Let's be honest, right? From outside, they're like, oh, what's this? What's PG? Is it an alpha group? They put us in. I think we're the only project where they consider us even in the alpha group tier list that they post, and in PFP projects and in general projects as well, and also kind of like represented as like a Web 2, like Web 2 Web 3 bridge, and like consultancies and all those kind of services as well. So we are kind of being pulled into different boxes and stuff. So anyways, that's going to be one of the things as a team that we're going to do, move out of just our spaces and our Twitter accounts and stuff, and to go across different utilize all the connections we had which we didn't use before, to start going and talking about Gajira, talking about Web3 in general, going on real life conferences, because I've been invited for a few conferences like the Gold Coast, the crypto convention and stuff like that. And I couldn't go for a lot of reasons, like kind of like traveling and stuff like that at different times. But I think I've been invited for the Ozfest as well. There's a thing, like there's a big event coming up called Ozfest. This NFT Fest Austria in November. So this I think there's pretty decent amount of reach. I'm expecting like quite few big names and projects are going to be coming in. Would be a speaker there mostly. I'm just kind of like working out few details with them, but yeah, I think mostly I should be on. So this is going to be one of the targets for our Q4 for us, to kind of like go and like go outside of this, just within our circle, and kind of like start talking and building on this organic marketing, which I'm good at, and let Amresh and the other marketing team do what they're good at, which I suck at, like planning for a like a planned marketing release and stuff. So this is something that happened. One more update was Littles. I think we had a spaces with Littles as well. One of the 5 partners now. There will be soon. They'll add our. I don't know if any of you minted, but all of them were whitelisted. Like the Genesis. I think the Gen 2s, all the Gen 2s were whitelisted. It might just seem like a lot of supply, but it's not. That's not our aim. We would be kind of like working with them to add more utility. It's a pretty fun arcade system, though. Like little. I really liked it. It's a grown-up man, but still, like it was pretty like fun, like simple games. But we might be working with them, where we would have our own arcade there. Like you can see when you go into Littles now, there's the Cyberkongs. Oh shit, there's Cyberkongs, there's Kaiju. arcade and Cool Kids arcade, and on the right side there's an under construction thing, the claw machine. So the claw machine is going to be Gojiras, right? So where you could use your Jira tokens, participate in some, the games to win some tickets or win some Gen 2s or like other NFTs. We would be probably contributing some just for our holders. So anyone who's got a maybe a got Jira Little or Jira tokens and play our arcade game can probably have a better chance to win. Better chance to win. From the claw machine. It's a simple, fun game. So if any of you haven't played, I think it's worth just like worth less than like $8 now. I think the NFTs, but would highly suggest you guys to just try it just for the fun side. Not everything is just about money at this stage. Some of them have won like Gen 2s and Kongs Gen 2s and stuff like that, playing games by redeeming tickets or whatever. So we would be the fifth project to have like a game side, and you could buy game tickets using our tokens. Just a little bit of a small utility, an additional utility as well for our tokens, and like a fun element as well. So that's something that happened with Littles. Um, and yeah, and let's go for the next one. Next update is obviously the VX. Um, our it was designed and developed by our good friends from New Unicorns, Uninterested Unicorns team. So we had this VX models kind of like ready a while back. I think some of you know it was ready. Like we started on this a long time back, but then we scrapped the entire VX and then we redid. In the sense like we didn't want it to be just like a normal VX, like 3 months back when we first 3 or 4 months back. So we scrapped it. We kind of like we kind of like brainstormed and kind of like reworked to make it look a little bit like a little bit better. And also we wanted to add some feature, like I don't know how many of you have tried it, but with the VX claim, like it's got some features inside where you could pretty much like control the VX from within the NFT, like so I think some of you are still struggling to claim your Jiraverse, the phase one Jiraverse. But if you haven't, just go through our tweets once in a while. Just read through the announcements at least, just to see the updates, because I saw a lot of them had no clue that had dropped or something despite a lot of announcements. So like I'll just show for those of you who didn't have time to see how the VX kind of behaved. Um, it's just a simple thing, but I think I take that as a win because we didn't want it to be just like a random, like a PFP stuff that came out, but we wanted to show a little bit of our quality as well. So a really good job by our Infinite Studios team to make them animated and like just a little bit of some features within the NFT. Um, you may ask like, what's the benefit of this? I mean, it's just you got to put in some a little bit of flair as well. Like what's the benefit of anything then? Like it's what's the benefit of NFTs? What's the benefit of games? So we just wanted to do something different. We kind of like added this little bit of a twist. Oops. Sorry, I got disconnected there. Yeah, so I don't know how many of you know, but we also had we were the first. We had launched the first AR element embedded NFT when the Jiraverse came out. The Jiraverse is pretty much again an interactable NFT. Even the unclaimed Jiraverse is an interactive NFT. The timing was a bit bad, but then like still the tech side of things. I think the artists who did it, and also the Jira, the dev team, the Infinite Studios dev team did a really good job. So yeah, I mean, so a lot of them at this stage, I was just telling even in the Jiraverse chat today in the morning, a lot of them would be dumping. 100%, I understand. Everybody's in a rush. This is a very like rush space. You want things like every day you want to have some exciting news and stuff. I'm not gonna blame anybody, but then all I can say is that like dumping at like 0.01 I don't know what to say at this stage, but I understand as well. Like, at this stage, people think that they're not going to get any benefits or utility and stuff. But simple thing, right? Um, just a very simple logic. You don't. It's not like I'm comparing any project or all those things. But just to, I assume a lot of Jira holders are also from, like new holders, because I can see from the questions they ask, which is what, we did a good job in that. But what we didn't do a good job probably is that we didn't, keep them interacted with the team, or keep them, well informed on a regular basis. We just kind of minted, and then we went on to develop a lot of other products and stuff, and then we didn't keep them interacted. That they kind of got scared, fear, how we had when we first came into the NFT space. I remember, like, I buy a project for zero point zero 0.05 ETH and it drops to zero point zero 0.03, and I'm like, oh man, shit, this project's gonna fail. And the fear was definitely there when, because some of them, they ask questions like how to claim, how to click, and those kind of things. So I can clearly understand that a lot of them are new to the space. A lot of the voxel holders. So it's imaginable that they just want to kind of sell for $10, at this stage, or $10 or $15 by getting to the ground. But just a little bit of a backstory. Being in the space for almost a year and a half, Cyberkong's VX is one that we have always taken an example, because I really enjoy the way Cyberkongs came up with the VX, and, like, what we can do with the VX. It's a very simple game that they've developed, but, like, it's kind of like, keeps you interacted and stuff. Just remember one thing: when Cyberkong's VX or any of these VXs from these good projects, even Cyberkong's babies and Genesis, they were kind of dead at the time, and VX took a while before, the utilities or anything came up, even in the peak bull market. And when the utilities obviously came out, in, like, like a month or two or whatever, the VXs are sitting at like zero point 0.9 ETH, at a 15,000 supply. All right, like at a 15,000 supply, and they're at like a zero point 0.9 ETH, and pretty simple game. And the babies are at like 2.6 ETH or something. So just a basic ratio, again, don't take it as a comparison, but just the basic ratio, and our VXs are like under 10K, and our Gen 2s are at close to 1 ETH. It's not far away for us when we get this products for our VX out. Um, you know, 3 to 4 VXs would be equivalent to one Gen 2 kind of thing in terms of value, because I'm pretty confident of that, in the sense, like, don't hold me up for it. I'm not predicting floor or numbers, but just kind of explaining the fact that this kind of thing happens, right? People do not, they just think that it's worthless NFT that's in their wallet. We have a big name to save, when we have so many things coming up. We're not going to let a product that launched by Gojira, and a final product launched by Gojira, just go down the drain. We have quite a lot of things planned. I even leaked a really big alpha for like the VX in the Genesis chat. So I'm not gonna come in, like, just say something just to pump it up or whatever. But I just expect a little bit of patience, and I'm really happy with those who are holding, trusting the team. It's purely at this stage, holding a VX is trusting the PG team as much as it. That's it. So if you don't trust, I'm not going to stop anybody. It's all right. I understand the stress by holding. Sometimes I see people even listed like 0.0005. I mean 0.005, like, certain NFTs. I think it's just the method of, like, coping up or giving up on this, like, the built up stress. uh, Absolutely nothing wrong. All right. If, as long as anything that keeps you less stressed, go for it. If it's not letting you sleep because you want to sell it for $5, $10, $20, then it's stressing you out. 100%. It's definitely it's not worth holding anything, right? So for those of you who are holding and who are not worried but just trust the team, first, thanks. And second thing is, um, you're gonna have some fun. Definitely, you're gonna have fun, and the price at which this is at, it's kind of like, yeah. I mean, I don't want to sweep myself from an alt wallet or something, because I just feel like it doesn't feel fun, right? So I'll buy back a lot when we get back over like point 0.1 or 0.15. This is a promise. I'm gonna sweep big once we go back over like point 0.1 ETH, because I know what's coming for it. So for the VX side of things, it's going to be, as I mentioned even in the spaces before we launched Jiraverse, It's not just going to be sandbox. It's not just going to be metaverse place. Although that's one of the main, long-term visions. In the short term, or in the short to mid-term, it's about innovation. Okay, so it's going to be about innovation where you could win something, you could play something, you can earn something, but at the same time, there's going to be some innovation to it. If it's not going to be innovation, it's not worth doing anything, right? I'm not sure what people thought when they bought Jiraverse. I don't know if they assume they get the same benefits as Gen 2, like alphas and stuff like that, or I mean, or like tokens or something like that. But it's going to be different. Even the Genesis and Gen 2s would probably need a Jiraverse. I think we made that very clear. For a lot of things, it's if you have a Genesis, but then you don't have a Jiraverse down the line, you probably won't be having an entire, like use case for all the products. So, yeah, I'm gonna leave it there. We're gonna, as and when the products and stuff come out, I'll let the products talk. But I hope from the other perspective of delivery, quality, and the look of it, I hope you guys like the way we went about launch and the quality of the product as well. So um, yeah, so that's pretty much the thing about the VX at this stage. Do we have one-on-one in VX or legendary or something like that? One-on-one in VX or legendary, there might be a gamification side of things later, but for now it's going to be just we would be updating some metadata for just the Gen 2 legendary holders, right? So they'll have their 1:1 model. We got to sort that out. I think we kind of like forgot about, missed it from our end. So for now, the legendaries is going to be just the Genesis 1:1 that was dropped, and the Gen 2 1:1 that's going to be dropped. But it's going to have a different dynamic, and we hope that it's kind of like it's going to have a different kind of a mechanic to it. So what is the next one? Any other questions here? All right. So that's thing about, yeah. Next up, I think, yeah, we promised for Q3 few products, marketplace and VX. So we launched the VX. Tools are ready. The marketplace are ready, right? And we already announced that those are the three main products for Q3. So consulting with our marketing team, and I was also talking to a few Genesis holders. We didn't want to just launch all three instantly, as in like not like the same time. It's happening like in days, like let's say in like hours, days, or whatever. Like it's very very close. We just want to make sure that we have like the attention to the project. We had this VX. Now we move away. We just posted a tweet now, hinting at the tools, right? So there'll be like just like how we did for VX. Just started like 20. When did we started? Like 27th, 28th September. Wait, yeah, 28th September we posted the first tweet, then 29th, and then on the 30th, we kind of 30th or October 1st, I think we launched. 30th, yeah, we launched. Yeah, pretty much similarly, we started our tools. The first stage of a push, like just the first tweet today, maybe a couple of tweets, probably more, and then we launch it, and then like just want to make sure that it doesn't just get overboarded and people just miss it, because already people, as I said, like many people don't even know a lot of things that's happening. So I mean, like this is going to be like a V1, and obviously, quite decent features for those of you who do not want to buy tools or who have been subscribing for tools. The subsequent updates for the tools are not going to take long. There's going to be like V2s, V3, V4, not like a month, but like effectively, probably every looking to launch an update every week or 2 weeks. That's the target, right? So once the tool is out and the marketplace is out, every week or 2 weeks is what there'll be like updates. The aim, right? The aim of the tools. I just want to make it really clear. The aim of the tools is to ensure that you do not have to subscribe to any other tools. So, like not there's multiple tools for multiple features. It can be alerts, it can be whatever, mint, it could be just stats analysis. Aim is that as Gojira holders, you wouldn't need to be subscribing or this thing for multiple other tools purely like a one-stop solution. But also as holders, we hope you understand it's a process. It takes it's a V1, V2, V3s. There's going to be bugs. There's definitely going to be some testing and crashes or whatever. If we have been testing, but then I'm being really practical here. Any product would come up with some bugs or fixes. I'm gonna have a small, like already we have a small internal team from our community for testing, finding out the bugs, fixing the UI, made it clean and all those things. So now we are ready to launch the V1. But the aim is that by end of say this year, or even by October or November, or when before the bull run starts, it would have almost all the features that you desire, and automation for a lot of things. You miss your whitelist, you miss your pings, you miss your whatever. So the long-term aim for the tools is to be like a one-stop shop, and only Gojira holders would get free access, right? And we'll have a model. We'll be talking more about it later. Like pretty much, one thing Amresh told me, the marketing team told me, was not to talk too much about what's to come, but rather what we have. Makes a lot of sense. Let's first I think it's a very fast pace. You launch even 10 things now. People keep it just there's going to be more and more and more being asked, or more and more demanded. So 100% we are not just sleeping, and we're just like being lazy. A lot of things going on. We just be patient with us. There's going to be exciting stuff. We make sure that the Twitter or the announcements are not going to dry up. We got to make sure that every week or every this thing we have things to for the community to be excited. Like whatever the domains, or it can be stuff, some unexpected stuff that might come, um, like merch, maybe a lot of things. So it's gonna happen, and we're happy in the sense we have kind of we are at the stage where, not like before, where we have to announce a date and then wait, and then kind of uh, the product, because there's a lot of errors or something, and then come back. Now we are comfortably in a stage where we got like few products in hand ready to launch, just waiting for the right time and the right way to launch it. That's it. So so that's one, definitely a big change, and feels a lot more comfortable sitting on the driver's seat than always, like kind of I don't know how many of you saw this. Even Lama, I think, they had been like kind of posting roadmap and a lot of items, but recently he posted about like fuck the roadmap. It's really stressful and it's so annoying and stuff like that, because it's not that in web 2 world, every project that I've done, I think even you guys, who was working, you would be sticking to the deadline, right? 100%. Like you get so much of stress and pressure and all those things. But the task in web 3 is a bit different, in the sense like there's a lot of new stuff that's being done, which is not like a we have our internal targets. We give a targets to our suppliers and clients, but it's just that really, like quarterly targets make a lot more sense for us, right? Like quarterly product every quarter, adding value makes a lot more sense, rather than come at once and launch 100 things, and then people are clueless what's happening. But then a little bit of time for them to absorb, at least the guys who are really interested in the project, for them to absorb what's happening. So we would be sticking to our internal timeline. We, as much as you guys, we want a lot of products out, a lot of use cases out. Um, Again, I want to re-emphasize on the fact that we are a project that's going to prove, and that's probably going to be the first fully independent project that does not have to depend on any other product for its own services, like A to Z. So this is the our our way, or our our aim, the way we are moving forward. Everybody else, I think, they partner with other projects, they give access to their holders. Why do we depend on others when we can do it, and at the same time having equity on the project, having a separate team run each of these things without us having to pay, you know, what to say, without us having to pay for each of these, this thing. Shan, will Gen 2 holders pay for tools with Jira, or it'll be free? It'll be free, right? So Gen 2 holders don't have to pay with Jira tokens. It's going to be free. Um, yeah, so I think that's pretty much an answer. But we are aiming to keep the tools open for the public with Jira tokens. So there will be a little bit of value for the tokens. Like this is how we want to add value to the tokens, right? An actual use case for the tokens. So either it's going to be we allow the public to buy it with Jira tokens, or we allow them to buy with ETH and we buy back Jira tokens and burn. We'll pretty much announce what percentage of that ETH would go to the treasury and what percentage of ETH would be used to buy back the Jira tokens and burn. Some would go for the development because we want funds to develop the tools as well. So let's say, for example, 60% goes to the development, 20% comes to the Jira treasury, and 20% used to buy back Jira tokens and burn. This is just one of the few services that like it's I don't want to just say we are a long term project and hide behind it, but long term means you gotta set streams one by one, right? If even if tomorrow I launch 10 projects, you are not going to use all the 10 products. So by long term we mean that we want to, I mean, I'm not, again, I don't want to compare, but I don't want to see ourselves as like an Amazon or something. But even a project like Amazon was unknown in the first few days. We are not advertising as an alpha group. We never advertised as a tech company. We are not advertised as a consultant or anything. All has been purely organic. All these projects coming to us, all the web 2, why did little baby buy, why did the celebrities contact us, why am I in touch with these people? It's been really organic without us like kind of coming on Twitter. I'm open for anybody to come and challenge me, but have I ever shilled Gojira like too much on Twitter? It like what a lot of influencers do. I don't do that, not because I can't do, because that's not the way. I don't believe me coming and talking 100 times about Gojira is going to help in any way. It just seems cringy for me, right? But still people see that, like a lot of projects, they kind of they come to some of our spaces, Twitter spaces, they hear about it from other people. Some, let's not forget that even our holders, there's quite a few of them who are like super valuable, super well connected, who talk about us with the inner circle, or to the VC friends or wherever. They get interested to know about us, right? So that's pretty much this is how I think it's sustainable for tokens. Yeah, that's pretty much what's going to be sustainable by tokens, I think. um, so if people gonna buy with Jira token, will they have? It'll be like a. I would say. I mean, I don't want to give out any specifics now and then change it later week, but it's gonna be quite few services there. You can choose based on what you wanna. For others or for the public, how they want to pay for it. Like nerds charge like what 0.09 ETH. We are not going to be anywhere close to that pricing, and we'll be providing a lot more services. When we are ready to launch for the public. So that's how I see the use case for Jira tokens. One of the use cases, right? So any of these services that come out, we use our tokens for the ecosystem. We've been lucky and blessed in a way where we have been approached by teams and projects where we take equity in them and they run their own project, and we pretty much be their advisors. In this way, we don't have to keep paying them like shitloads of money. Just for instance, like the amount that Alpha Sharks tools they spent is close to $1 million, right? Close to $1 million is what Alpha Sharks played for the tools. Can we do that? But we still, but what we have done, we have pretty much partnered with a team that's been running their own mint bots and tools for almost like 8 months now, and we have taken a 50% equity on them, right? Um, Taken a 50% equity on them, and they continue the development. We do not have to keep paying them hundreds of thousands of dollars. And they get their their marketing and their advisory from us, and we get paid from the treasury, and they're completely open to us using Jira tokens and those bits, and take their share of 50%, with whatever, like their share of equity from the tools or whatever development. I'll just give a, like, I posted this in the Genesis chat, but just I'll show you something, right? Someone, I think Relic was talking about gaming being the future, and that we gotta do our own gaming, and I was just explaining why it is not feasible. Gaming, doing our own games costs a lot, right? And we're not a game studio, right? You got to raise millions for that, and we didn't start that way. But just think of this: how does it feel to say that we didn't like raise um, X million dollars? Okay, we didn't raise X million dollars or 5 million, 4 million, but still have equity in a game studio, right? Where we are part of the game studio, the game goes well, we make money, right? And we still are part of the game studio without us having to pay the monthly payments. Like so, for example, this three verse, right? Some of you may know three verse is, you know, three verse is a project that we have got equity in, and we are helping them. They're building a lot, and we are getting a lot of cool projects on board. You know, there's probably gonna be like I think four projects are already on board, so they will be just wait for the announcement on the Twitter. So three words, let's say the token sync, right? This is like a game that everybody can play. You don't have to pay to play and stuff. Probably on mobile, and even for the Web2 crowd, anybody can play almost like a normal thing. But you can also make money with, you know, by earning tokens and all those kind of things. But look at the team that's involved in three words, for instance, right? I'm just posting this for you guys to just understand how hard it would be for us to come in and you know, if we have to run our own studio to build a game of this quality of what you know, the graphics what three words has got, right? So this is the theme for three words. We have a 30% equity on three words, right? So they put my name in, so what it's pretty much we have registered under mine and Jamie's name because her name is registered for PG for now, right? So okay, so look at this trailer, right? For instance, you know, just I mean, I'm not being biased or anything here, just the quality of their work. This kind of a trailer normally costs like thousands of dollars. Anybody in that field can vouch for it. The game is ready. A lot of them have tried. Tata has played. Few other people have played from the community. Tata got smashed really hard and bad by all the people who participated. So this is not a game that we are like, yo guys, we're gonna collect funds, and then like you know that like you know Gojira's 50% of the vault was used to build this game and stuff. But having a equity in this with and running this team without us having to pay funds for all these people, this is just some of them, right? Some of the team members, and there's more back end members. It's a 20-30 member team. So running a game studio requires a lot of funding, and without that, just by leveraging our connections and leveraging our network and marketing, we managed to get equity in you know, projects like these tools, these games, you know, and all those things, right? So which essentially involves us having a say in the project, using our tokens, giving the best most value to our holders, the same time making stuff fun. You know, now you want to play game, we got three words. You want to use tools, we have our tools. You wanna whatever you wanna do. Do you wanna play like you know like artificial reality or VX or whatever, like you know sandbox or metaverses or mobile app? There's gonna be VX, but all of these we pretty much have been working towards getting equity and not building this by ourselves. So we don't have to spread ourselves thin. I hope you know that's very clear. Like spreading ourselves thin is like, oh, Gojira is working on 10 plus projects, and how are they going to do it? They're going to collapse. We want. Just see how many members are there in the three verse. Do you really think we can afford payment for all these guys from our wallet every month? We'll get burnt in like 3 months because we didn't collect that much, and we are not like a cash heavy project, right? So it's purely been you guys who have been like you know supportive of the project, because of which people started viewing us as a actual blue chip in a different way, not just by the floor, but actually by the way we conduct ourselves, by the way the community goes out in the public, the way the community behaves in other servers, by the way we treat people, the way where no staff has to go and like fud us, no community member has to go and like you know talk shit about our project in Twitter. Very almost nil controversies as such, and you know and you as holders staying strong and believing, and the Genesis holders like holding on in this market, trusting the team. You could have dumped it, killed us. You know, we saw what happened with FEW, we saw what happens with Zoovers. A lot of these guys came up with 333 444. Not that they didn't do anything, but the community for whatever reason they didn't trust the team and they gave up. And if that happens, if the community doesn't trust, the NFT projects are dead. So you guys have literally helped us, you know, build this name and this, you know, this name in the space that's giving us all these opportunities for PG to be part of. And in return, it's gonna be coming back to us, and as community, it's going to come back to us. This is exactly why I want to keep emphasizing this fact that the money is not coming to me or the team. I'm not just saying this just for sake, because a lot of them do not understand the importance of that, because we do not even take like 10% of the profits or anything like that to us, right? So any profits that come to us, we only get paid on a monthly basis. As I said, no community or no project can state that. So it's almost like we work together as a community. We are strong like this. We make a lot of moves in the space. The money comes back to the community completely for development, and you guys are paying us a monthly salary for us to work. That's it, right? So, so the three words thing is just an example for you guys to just see how many people are actually involved, in a project like that, and how many people are involved in a project like the tools, right? So yeah, I mean that's pretty much what I've got to say in terms of the way we are taking. So voxels, the tools for voxels, I think, and don't waste money on gaming. Gaming requires a proper integration into as a final boss. Yeah, so that is there, Undead. But see what we have done here. What's how, this is like any project can do what you told, right? Undead, like if it's like you can integrate as boss in the event, like we are part of Degenime and stuff. Perfect. Then without having to burn our vault funds, we still have equity in a game studio and a game. Um, what do you call that? Win or a win-win or a big win, right? That's up to you guys. How do you want to take that? So that's the thing that I want to say. Like everybody, if any like before we announce three words, if I'd run a vote and I'd be like, guys, do you want us to invest in a game? Do you want us to build a game? And you're like, no, 100% no. But do you? If I'm gonna be like, guys, do we know that? Do we understand that games can make a lot of money? And then you're like, yes, but you need a game studio, you need a proper like fundraising team, you need a full stack team, which we do not have funds for. We shouldn't waste money. But then I come back and I say, guys, just for leveraging our brand and our time and our our what to say, whatever, like our name in the space and our, let's say, insights, you're getting 30% equity in a game which got a full game studio, with a game that's fully developed before launch, with a game that does not have to launch an NFT to make money, right? That does not have to use Ponzinomics, because we don't have to sell any NFTs for 3 years. We don't have to come up with a 10K collection, 5K collection. It's a game. It's a proper a game that you can just play even without any money or something. But if you have a Gojira and a mech, you might earn some tokens. You play a lot, you might win some skins that you can sell. The real way a game should be, like that's what three verses. Would you say no to something like that, where you're almost like a, there's not even like a single lose scenario, it's like a win-win scenario kind of thing? Even if the game fails, I'm just saying, right? Even if the game fails, it's not kicking off. What's a big thing? We didn't spend millions, we didn't spend half a million, we didn't spend this thing, except my time, Jamie's time, and the team's time, which we are happy to give up, being in a web3 startup. If me and the team have to put like extra 8 hours a day to get these kind of opportunities for us, we are happy to give up on that. So equity share is the way for us, and that's how we have been working. And no one understands equity. You're talking about founders of projects in web3 space. These are like, there are like kids who do not even understand what equity is, and they're running businesses. So we are definitely well positioned. I'm not shit talking about other projects, but I'm tired of a lot of people, like whom we call as the best founders and stuff, and all these tweets. I'm just tired of these kids with no professionalism, no basic understanding of business models, coming in and like coming up with ridiculous proposals, and turning back on proposals after agreeing on terms and conditions, knowing that I'm not going to come to Twitter and start a beef and stuff. Like it's really annoying me in a sense where I'm like, it just doesn't make sense partnering with a lot of projects. It's almost like I feel like I want to just partner and target only Web2 companies and brands, and let these guys just dig their own graves as they move, because they kind of been almost have been trying to use us for a lot of their products, and kind of come up with some stuff using PG's name, and like when they're stuck, they come to us and they try to collab with us, and then we launch something together, and then so yeah, I mean, like Equity is the way. Equity is a very strong concept. Equity is the way how Warren Buffett built his profile. For those of you from the investment background, that's where I'm from. So equity is where we have been working on. Equity means you have percentage in the company. Okay, that's what equity means. Like literally, you hold. If the company makes $1 billion and you have 30% equity, that means $300 million is yours, right? So that's what equity means, right? So essentially, equity comes with a big payment, or you gotta pay, you gotta take care of expenses half and half. But then we identify solid projects that are in like kind of need of marketing, and then we come in instead of charging some upfront payment and stuff, right? There's two options we could have done for something like 3 years. We could have either um, you know that's why Solji. So the thing is, we do not have like potential liabilities because they're not promising anything, they're not securities. We are careful with what they're announcing to the public. They're not eating the public or anything as such. And also, I'm putting my name up in the front. If you notice, and Jamie's name, it's not, we're not putting the PG entity. Worst case something happens, it's I have to be liable and Jamie has to be liable, but not the PG community. Nothing would happen to your funds, nothing would happen to the vault funds. We are essentially putting up our name, right? And leveraging the this thing. So we have thought about it. We pretty much thought about it. Even if there's 1% chance, I don't want the name of the project to be tainted, like, or to be screwed up. Worst case, right? So uh, worst case, yeah, I'll run from jail. Exactly, I'll run PG from jail at least. So the point is that, like, equity is not, doesn't mean that we have the liability. That's why we're careful with what percentage we take. Like, we are taking, you notice, we are ideally taking less than 50%. If you notice, it's either we take like 49% or like up to 30% or 10% or 20. We rarely go more than like 50% equity. There's two reasons. One, projects are not going to agree for it. Like, nobody wants you to have more equity than them. And number two is that, this safeguarding question you asked, I'm a minority stakeholder. Anything happens, we be like, oh, we don't have the voting rights. We only have 30% equity in them. So well thought about, and nothing, no harm for us or liability as such for us. Yeah, the best benefit for us is only about that we don't have to pay. All right. So I think TGOL has tweeted about F2O and FTP kind of thing. I wanted to share something with you guys again. There's quite a few things, interesting stuff happening or happened or in the background. I don't even talk about it, but I'm just bringing it up now. It's just few of you here. So this is a game that you might know about. It's called Metamon, right? So it's a game called Metamon. It's not gonna, it's a free mint, right? It's another game, right? But it's a free mint, not trying to do your Ponzinomics, not coming up with this thing. Like, it's organic Twitter. If you guys haven't followed this, it's a free mint. It's a free mint NFT. They understand how gaming work, similar to Three-verse, right? They understand how gaming works. They understand how the network works. So how do we leverage this, right? They're coming up for our, possibly when our Jira tank comes up, they're going to come up on Jira tank. But I'll just put the second page of the deck, right? So again, there's pretty solid game that's coming up, right? In an essence, where we do not have to put money in. Again, like the tokens and the way the project works and the tokens work is pretty different. Yeah, so I'll just leave there. So there's 4 deck pages for you guys to just see. There's third and the fourth one, how the tokenomics and stuff is going to work. So yeah, of course, they'll be open. So there's a different kind of equity here. So they'll be open for us, like, from our vault, a little bit of funds from our vault for equity. So once there'll be an vote from the Genesis side of things, what percentage, how much we want to put in, we get equivalent number of tokens. We can sell that, get the money back. Equity stage is the best time to buy tokens. For those of you know, like almost like you can sell like 20% or 30% even before the public round comes up, which is like 2 to 3 times more. So, anyways, the point is that we are still in the gaming sector. We are covered. In like from 3 years and even the yeah, it's Miyavi's project. He screwed up our deal for Pixelmon. The thing, he's the one who came and fudded Draco. I don't know if you remember. We missed out like a 20% equity on Pixelmon, and that would have been like fucking like that's worth a lot. So we missed it because this guy came and fudded in our chat, and I remember like I don't know if you remember, like 6 hours of VC had to go through you know and I had to cancel the deal because the community kind of felt that we didn't want to be associated with Pixelmon in March, because I was single-handedly trying to save Pixelmon from rugging and shit like that, because just kind of didn't want people to kind of like run away completely, this thing. So anyways, the point is that because of that, he felt bad that he didn't understand my intentions, and he came and just fudded. So he kind of offered me a percentage of equity, that, and also like at a discounted equity as well for PG, for us to come if we want to come on board, at a very discounted price for a few percentage of equity, and tokens in return and stuff. So still, in like, you guys will vote for it, so it's not like something that I've taken a decision on and stuff. So anyways, so the point is that we have been working towards the equity side, and yep, that's pretty much it. Came here pissed off, ready to rip you apart. Yes, because he was trying to get equity at Pixelmon, trying to explain that he was a better addition than me, kind of thing, or whatever. I didn't know about it at the time. He thought I was just shilling Pixelmon for no reason, without exactly understanding that it was a discussion to get, um, you know, PG on board, and like have a pretty solid portfolio, and to ensure that the money doesn't get out of Martin's hand, like because the guy, if you push him too much, I just thought that he might just like fuck off, he'll run away, because to some Cayman Islands or something. So I was the one who connected them to the current team. For those who do not know, I was the main reason why the current team is on, and now everyone's talking about I'm so bullish on Pixelmon's team and stuff and all. And pretty much I connected them with all the current teams, like tweets like this, for instance, right? And when we did this initially, there was obviously fun and stuff. So yeah, I mean, that's pretty much how life is. I didn't make a single dollar out of it, neither for me or for Gojira. We could have made some lessons learned. It's fine. So next time, now we are prepared and now we are ready. And this is what I meant by being patient. Like if suppose legit, if the community had somewhat, we had trusted the decisions, or if I had stayed strong and maybe been like, no guys, I trust this team completely, let's like take the equity, associating won't be a bad decision, we would be sitting at about $14 million now, right, as a community as such. Like so, sometimes the time, like it's March and now it's September, and 6 months later the outlook on Pixelmon has changed. Like everyone is like um, so kind of like bullish on them and stuff like that now. So I would like to take a lot of credits on that, and I think even um, what to say, like even what to say, like this is like, even I mean, like I would, even this was posted even by this thing, like this was posted by the guy who took over and whom I connected with, where he pretty much, I have strong feelings because it's not small amount of money. I could have done a lot for us with $14 million, man. Like when I think of it now, it's kind of like it's a lot of money where we could have developed, right? So obviously it's there. So yeah, of course, I'm a little bit. It's not easy. I would be lying if I say that I'm completely fine. Definitely, it's not that easy to kind of like know that we had this thing going on and kind of completely lost it. So, anyways, it's fine. So now it's look forward and we move on from the lessons we learned. I was also new to the space. I made a lot of mistakes just because one of my decisions that or the ideas that I told is successful doesn't mean I haven't made mistakes. I made mistakes 100%. I even made a announcement stating that I'm not going to be advisor and stuff, right? Because I made mistakes being part of projects I shouldn't have. I didn't know. I kind of believed a lot of things. I was excited in the space at the time, So yeah, obviously I think you make mistakes, you learn. So some of them would have been an amazing decision, some of them would have been bad decisions. So you cannot just keep, you cannot be like, oh, I told you guys and stuff. It could have been bad for us at the time. Preserving my brand was more important, and like PG's brand and the community was more important. Because like imagine, like if something had, if we had proceeded further and you guys had all, at the time people had been like, I lost hope in this team, they didn't listen to us and stuff, and our project would have died. I couldn't have started another project like ever, and our dream would have shattered for a lot of people. So I'm not worried in that sense. Definitely happy that we chose community over anything else. So yeah. Anyways, did you see Risang's calls? Nope. Everything happens for a reason. That's how I see things. Well, yep. Inside, we didn't understand the opportunity. Pixel Moss, Genesis. What can you do? Not dummies. I think at the time everyone was, emotions hide us. That's it. Tomorrow, if a project like Magma, when I had to announce, there's a lot of people that came and fudded me, like and stuff. Like I'm like, man, like it's a shock for me. I'm a human at the end of the day, and it's a shock that the guy decides to quit. It's not in my hands. I can't force him to stay. I met him in person. Tata met him in person. Made a tweet. He's an amazing guy. I made a tweet. He's an amazing guy, and he gets burnt out and he quits the space. What can I do there? Right? How do I, like he's like, you only, you see what they do, you see their profile, you see their past, you see their vision, and you jump on board. You get like, we got a whitelist for a lot of Gajira holders. They made bank at least by selling. It's not at a bad position now. Lama has taken over, but still people, like they were like, I bought this because I already have Lamaverse. I wanted to be in a different ecosystem, and it's gone. You're out of the thing. I bought this instead of a Gajira because you were there, stuff like that. And I realized that, oh my god, like I think I shouldn't be involved in anything, because it's a very bad situation for me also to be in. If someone messages and asks me, should I buy a Gojira Gen 2 or a Magma, what do I say? Right? If I say Gen 2, I'm doing injustice to Magma, being a part of the team or whatever. And if I tell them Magma, that I'm doing injustice to my main project that I'm living for. So I thought about it and I'm like, guys, I'm out of this. PG consultancy is the way, no biased feelings or anything. So as I said, Pixelmon is one good, I mean, a good thing that we missed, but there's also mistakes that I made which are wrong and bad, right? So it's about learning in that sense, isn't it? So I'm not gonna worry that we missed that. I'm gonna be happy that I learned what not to do after being here for quite few some months. But all I can assure you guys is that my intention was never to make money or to rug, or like or support drug projects or something like that. Intention was purely to network. I was excited. I didn't, most of the time, I think the OGs know, I used my the name advisory to get us whitelist spots, a lot of whitelist spots. And if that whitelist spots people had sold, they could have made money, no questions. Like every project that we were part of, if you had sold within like almost like within the first week, it's at least a 2x, right? So obviously they trusted because I was on the team, and then they never listen, guys. They use the name advisors and they never listen to you. They just use it just to try and sell out, and I learned that in the hardest possible way, right? So they don't like kind of listen to you, and they're like, ah, nice idea, and then they go back and do something else, right? So it's almost like, as I say, like your mom and dad gives you 10 advices, but you don't probably take any of them. That's how advices were kind of treated. So and it's the way it is. You can't force them. So so this is pretty much what I kind of understood, and luckily was able to like have a damage control and stuff like that to kind of take this decision, like now give a clarity to holders. Not a lot of projects tell that, we're not going to mint anymore. Not a lot of projects tell that we're not going to be advisors anymore. So at least I want to give clarity to our holders, right? So clarity that we're not going to launch anymore, right? PG is pretty much, that's it. Jiraverse is the final. So it's only consultancy. Any pay comes in, comes back to the consultancy. At least as holders, you guys should know. You don't have to be scared waking up tomorrow. Oh my God, my this guy is gonna launch another launch another collection. Like be an advisor to 100 projects and stuff like that. At least you guys can rest in peace when you come to Gojira, knowing that we're not gonna do anything like that. So want to give at least that minimal mental peace. Don't want to launch 100 things and also like kind of mess it up as well. So anyways, so enough of that talk. So lessons learned, and We are here because of all those things, right? We are definitely here because of my mistakes there. Probably I was able to take better decisions for Gojira. At the, obviously, it, it definitely had to come at a cost, but then definitely I'm happy that from the Gojira side of view, um, like this guy, one guy, like really kind of like hates me for whatever reason, but this guy, like I'll just show something, right? He was pretty much right. I'll just send you this, right? So this guy sent me this kind of a message yesterday. I kind of like I at least like try to understand to improvise myself. Not that I encourage trolls or encourage people haters or something, but just for me to know what people some of them think as well. Um, so he was like, of course, the unseen universe shilling. It isn't like normal project on Discord and then drugging straight afterwards. But then still, as Indian myself, I'm proud of you. Not gonna lie for Gojira, right? I'm like, bro. I mean, Unseen Universe is launched by a Web2 brand. We didn't get a single dollar payment for it. 600 whitelist spots for us. Not a single dollar payment. Openly, I'm challenging if anyone wants to check contract or whatever, right? Unseen Universe was launched by Audi, a well-respected Web2 brand. I think most of us can agree. They donated the funds to charity, right? They don't want money, but they're building, and they announced that early on as well. And they told that it's a long term and it's going to take 3 to 6 months, even for our partnerships and other things to come out and what they're building and the stuff to come out. And if that's being called a rug, when I brought 600 whitelist spots to our community where they could have minted and they could have flipped for at least 2x at the start, 600 of NFTs, and I didn't get charged for it, and people see that as a rug, and I'm like, no, like what do I do there? Like do I next time when some project comes in, they're like, I want to offer you 600 whitelist spots. Can you just come and help us? Be in or give us a guidance. A well-respected brand like Audi, for instance, and I'm like, nope, I don't want that. I don't want to give that much value to my community, like 600 spots where there's potential for a good 2x, 3x. I mean, how many of you made money here from the Audi? This thing at least a 2x. The dilemma was, all right, so what do I do? Like I'm getting a super opportunity for my community where they can at least where there's this chance, but then people call it a rug because um what do you say, it's called like a rug because the floor is down maybe, or they're not like talking about it much or whatever. At this stage, I mean, I mean, what do I do anyways? So that's what even it's a big it's a big dilemma. So that's why we launched this PG consultancy as such. Project wants to come on board, they have to go through the PG consultancy, not a single name involved, purely professional service, no shilling and stuff from my Twitter, helping them with actual stuff, like connecting with devs, connecting with ideas, giving them the direction. And happy to announce that we also secured another Web2 brand uh, into our consultancy this week. So last week we had one, this week we had one. So kind of like cash back into our community. It's a pretty cool project. And our Genesis holder, Abs, who's here, whom I met in person, built a really strong relationship in the last 3 4 weeks, helped us secure this deal with the team that he was working for. It's a team that's backed by some VCs, backed by what is it? Polygon, right? Abs. I think it's backed by Polygon Studios, backed by a few big names, and they've come to us for consultancy. So again, it's a win for us. Another addition for our network. I'm not going to use mine as that's the birth of PG. Sorry, that's the birth of PG consultancy. Legit, like that's how PG consultancy was born as such from this kind of issue that people are seeing by associating names and you want to show their irritation on. I'm not going to blame the guy who posted about the unseen universe. The point what I wanted to make was that, like, although people hated me for certain other projects that I kind of spoke about, they still appreciate us for Gojira. right? For running Gojira the way it is being run or whatever, right? So this is like, this I didn't want to, and it can, it's a matter of time if I continue, and if these even Web2 brands are going to start doing this, what's going to happen, like, that's when we had to take this decision, right? Like to kind of like have this consultancy side of things. So now that, like, PG as a brand name wouldn't be like screwed up. Okay, so anyways, so I just wanted to, I think I gave enough updates, I think, about the consultancy recruit. Apart from our planet, we have another one from the community for this week. We have a lot on board, um, on 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 board, like as in like to come. There's quite some exciting projects. There's one project, possibly you guys would be excited if it comes through. I'll let you know, but it's something to do with cannabis. So that's it. I'm just stopping there. No names or anything, but it's a pretty big Web2 brand that wants to come into a pretty decent Web2 brand. I would say, like, wants to come into Web3, and we are kind of like finalizing the quotations and stuff. If it comes through, yeah, I mean, like, it's pretty kind of like a different genre that's entering the space. So, anyways, when we have MetaMain, nope, not MetaMain. When we getting merch, fresh timeline announcement now, or okay, this month? All right, he announced, not me. Right, so this month, right? So we have already. It was, I don't know how many of you got Basie hoodies and Invisible Friends. I think they had a really pretty decent. I think the first Basie hoodie and this thing, Invisible Friends thing, right? So we kind of partnered with them for the first drop. The name and stuff would be announced by the, obviously, the this thing, what is it, the marketing team. So by this month we already paid, I mean, we already, I think, if I'm not mistaken, Ken, if his Ken is here, I think we paid for it, isn't it, Jamie? We already paid for the entire service last month, so it should be technically on track for this month. And yeah, like, so there'll be much for people this month.
Yeah.
The t-shirt, what they showed by, oh no, that's, yeah, that's like our, that's going to be our own brand kind of thing. um like, where those t-shirts, what we showed, it's going to be like available for like really decent price and for like big communities and stuff, right? So yeah, I mean, like, so anyways, it's going to be pretty cool. I think this 3 months is going to be pretty cool. Need that yeah XPG shirt you wore in Audi. Did you, I don't know if you saw my hoodie though, like, there was a customized hoodie. I think we could do that. Like, those guys are ready to do that. They have got a really cool, merch thing, right? Like, I'll show you the merch that I got from them. It's a really comfy merch, and let's. Yeah, I think I kind of misunderstood the importance of merch, and by holding it for this long, because I was like, yeah, everyone drops merch, but then it's actually cool to, now I'm not wearing anything outside except, like, my Gojira hoodie or my Gojira shirts or even Macy hoodies or Basie hoodies. It just feels nice to. I met a random youths holder, like, at 3 a.m. in the morning, like 2 days back, 3 a.m. Youths hoodie thing, right? So then I realized, like, it's kind of like, people love to rep their brand. So we didn't want to wait too long. So yeah, last month we already kind of like, paid for it, so it should be out by this month, much for the holders. All right. Sab, I'm gonna ignore that question. I didn't see it. Did you announce the winners yet for the Jira Fitness, Sav? So yeah, I think that's pretty much, I think, what I have got to say. I think, yeah, quite a lot of topics we covered today, I think. Any other questions? Anybody wants to get on VC or something? We onboarded a lot of people from Seattle. Mew Muse is here, right? Me Muse. Yeah, we met her in person and converted her into a Jira Gen 2 holder. And then we got like two Genesis holders last week. Quite a lot of, real life recruits. Fusion for Gen 2. Right. So I'm just going to announce 100% in quarter four. All right. Don't kill me for the date. No Shan for what? Can we get customized merch? What's happening? What's the no for, man? You told no for the customized number, the Jira number thing. Nah, it's nah, nothing leak as such, but definitely it's in our today we had our schedules put up for Q4. I think there's nothing wrong in mentioning that it's going to be in Q4, but we are planning it for a special like a special event kind of thing. So yeah, I mean like it's definitely going to be in Q4. Mint anniversary. Right, I'm not gonna reply. All right. Can I get my Jira on the front and my bro? I think we just don't pay this guy Purple Fire Ninja for this month till he changes his PFP to a Gen 2. Like, what's even happening? Like Jira M for fucking like PFP inside our server. Like that's a shame, man. The shame being a staff. What even is that project, bro? Like I see more people talking about Jira M first inside the server than like Gojira. No fuck. It's the worst take I've ever heard. I think I. Oh wait, Don, do you also have a? Wait, I think I also have two Jira M first. Honestly, so I cannot. I don't mind if it pumps. I can pretty much make some money. 17 already. Long's one GMC battle. Were we at least like second, or we were like did? Postman Pat, when Postman Pat, you're supposed to be buying a Gen 2. We met this guy also in person, and he was supposed to sell his Cyclic Anonymous and get a Gen 2. Should have I like should have kind of like pushed him that day itself. Like you're supposed. That's what he promised us, so he's definitely coming in. Cyberkong's holders have no girls, so they lose in life. Man, that's Amma didn't last 12 hours. We lasted for when Jira for Jira first. Why not a Jira? All right. Anybody else wants to come? Any other questions? What's going on with Kellogg's? When did I talk to you about it? I just spoke to like very few people about it. Like, did I? Okay. Okay. All right. So I didn't mention already in AMA. That's fine. So yeah, yeah. Obviously, you know how Web2 brands work. We signed the agreement. We're just waiting for further this thing. Yeah. But yes, agreement is signed though. Will leaked Kellogg's. Will leaked Kellogg's. That that's what I don't remember. Like, wait, like I want to know actually where did you guys know about the Kellogg's thing? Was it in like did I do it or was it from somebody else? The Littles, yeah, I didn't do it. Like I think did I? I don't know. Maybe I don't know. I'm not gonna question my will we get lifetime discounts? Yeah, sure. I mean I it's I mean, these things are like, just like minor brand value additions as we move on. But yeah, you will we'll see how it plays, how the public are looking at, when these kind of things come out outside of the NFT space. I mean, outside of the NFT space. But anybody who played GMC, did you guys try it? Like, was it like anyone wants to? I just want to see if anyone tried GMC game and stuff. Even I pretty much have tried once, I think. But I know that some people from Gojira has been like playing, and they found it pretty this thing. But I don't know how to play way too hard. King, are you like a boomer, or like, I mean, Jamie, I'm not gonna take your opinion. It's our launchpad project, so I'm not gonna let you come and talk about it. We need some random holders who have tried GMC or something. The game was good, but we didn't have enough people. Definitely fun. Think yeah, I think we should have kind of like maybe had a. I'll probably have a look at it. Yeah, but the guys I know for sure, they put in a lot of work on it. I just hope, not for our sake, but I just hope for the Skanky Boys, the Genesis holder as well, and for the effort those guys put in. I just hope it goes well, and I hope the right people buy the NFTs and not just kind of, just buy to just dump. But it's okay to sell. I just don't want. It's a good one, man. I think, you for the if you guys know the amount of effort like GMC's put in, you'll know why. It's probably one of those. I think I would rate it in the Launchpad projects or consultancy we had. I would pretty much put it at like, one of the highest. I mean, the hardest working teams and quality team as well. Like, so needed coordinated effort for tactics, probably on voice chat would work. Yeah, I think we should. I think we should definitely bring that culture, like, like a VC culture. No one's coming on a VC even now. I'm kind of calling like no one's coming on a VC even now. Like, I think Gojira was built in a different way that it's hard to bring back like a VC culture kind of thing. I mean, like VC as in like for people to come and participate, speak, strategize for GMC games and stuff. Like for other people to actually come on this thing as well. Everyone's scared of you muting them. Yeah, that's maybe. Wouldn't can't deny. Anyways, guys, if there's no other questions, I think we'll wrap it up. Um, Once again, like thanks a lot for joining us. And I mean, as much as this period of this NFTs and cryptos could be stressful, um, just remember to take regular breaks. Do not, this is not only life. Just treat this as like a hobby at this stage. Just come in once in a while, just chill out, put in money you can afford to kind of take a chance with. Just don't, like, just, people don't fall for posts like what, like, I think I saw this post by this one big Renga holder. What's his name? Like along with Dingaling, there's another guy like who bought. What's the name of that guy? Like it's a pretty known name. Yeah, anyways, like people like Dingalings and all those guys, they be like NFA, Renga is just starting and all those nonsense. And just remember that these fuckers have a lot of alt wallets, and they just buy, you know, like a lot of stuff in their wallets and stuff. And alt wallets and stuff, and then they pretty much show that they're not dumping, but they dump on your face from the alt wallets, make more money than what they spent in the start, and then keep shilling it from the Twitter, and then come back stating that I'm a holder, I never dumped. It's a dumb strategy, but it works always. So just don't fall for all this random, this thing. Just maintain your mental health in this period. Hold on to the toughest of phases. That's when, like, that's why money is made. Try to like dollar cost average slowly into ETH or cryptos or something that you believe in. Keep a small percentage of your crypto portfolio as NFTs, but not more than that. Don't try to make like one shot $1 million kind of thing. It's a process. So Yeah, just yeah, that's pretty much what I wanted to say, and I think that's it. Next Kajira meetup is in Qatar for the football. Tata, if you're gonna go and represent, definitely, like, you're gonna go and represent whatever country you're from. Definitely, we the team is gonna be there. All right, guys, catch you all next week. Bye.